here's my radical notion about money. You can become financially independent easiest without making any more. Because for me, financial independence is when you're no longer concerned about money. That's, for me, financial independence. It's not about having a lot of money in the bank. I mean, having a lot of money in the bank is fine, but I know dozens, more than that, hundreds of people that have a lot of money in the bank and are not financially independent. I know a lot of people that make $200,000, $300,000 a year and are not financially independent. As a matter of fact, they're as hooked by money as anybody. Their life begins and ends with their money. They're worried about money. They're worried about paying their bills. They're worried about their investments. They're constantly thinking about it. Something else I want to tell you is that I don't worry about those investments. I spend not more than a few hours a year, which is one of the goals I had, to only spend a few hours a year managing those investments. Because I just don't want to have life about money. I want to be financially independent, just like I was 20 years ago. Just like I was 30 years ago, and just like I was 10 years ago. When I had money, when I had no money, when I lost money, when I gave away money. I don't want to have that be the conversation in my head. And it's the conversation for so many people. So again, here's the point. That I believe you can be financially independent, which is not to have that be the predominant conversation, not to be hooked by money, not to be run by money, without more money. So that money doesn't have you, but you have money. All right, now, how do you do that? How do you be financially independent with no more money? Well, here's a really bizarre idea, which is spend less than you make. Now, I know this is un-American, but I'm recommending it. Just to test it out, try it, is to spend less than you make. Now, here's the hard part to swallow. I'm recommending you spend half of what you make, net. I'm recommending that you take what you make every month and you spend half of it. Here's the problem with this recommendation. I've had so many people get very, very angry at me for suggesting that they could live on half of what they make. People say, no way, you don't understand the medical expenses I have. You don't understand my children and what they want. You don't understand my spouse and what she or he wants. You don't understand. Well, okay, so I don't understand. I still want to recommend that you spend less than you make. As a matter of fact, half of what you make. You say, well, I couldn't do it. How would I have the things that I need? Well, let's get real now. Because I tell you, you can have the things you need on about a fifth of what you make. Now, of course, I don't know the details of all your salaries, but I know that, I know enough. You can have all that you need on way, way less than you make. And you can live a life of luxury on half of what you make. Luxury. Not luxury as defined by Madison Avenue. Not luxury as defined on television. Of course not. Not luxury as you're trying to be sold by every ad. No, you can't live that luxury, but nobody can. That's an unrealistic luxury. None of us can live like that in a sustained way. I mean, as a group, we can't live like that. But you can live luxury as defined by the average person on earth with half of what you make. Now, some of you don't know how little the average person on earth earns. Some of you do. But I'll tell you, half of what you make and bring home every month would be luxury to the average person on earth. And you say, yeah, but so what? I'm not the average person on earth. I know, but let's define our terms realistically. Instead of looking at television and ads, unreality, because the average person on television lives a lifestyle that you would need something in excess of $100,000 a year to provide. I mean, not everybody, like there's Roseanne, but even Roseanne lives a lifestyle, and she's one of the poorest people portrayed on TV. I don't mean real Roseanne, I mean the TV Roseanne. But you'd still need better than the American average income to live like Roseanne lives. And most of the people we see on TV, well, it's unreal. That's not how we live in the world. That's why I love to travel to developing countries, because I get that reality. That reality that living on half of your income would be luxury. You live like kings. You live like queens. You live like royalty. You scurry the earth and you live better if you lived on half of your income than the average person. To me, hey, that's way above average. You go back in time to the literal royalty of a couple hundred years ago. Well, half of your income, you'd live way better than they do. I mean, they were glad because they had more than one suit of clothes of the finest yarn. Well, how many suits of clothes could you have on half your income? More than one. They were glad because they had food that wasn't spoiled and that had great variety and great spices from all around the world. The royalty did. Well, on half your income, you could certainly have that. They were tickled pink because they had the snap of their fingers, a carriage that would take them to far-off places. On half your income, you would have that. Plus, way more than they ever dreamed of.